This is the next level of devotion, but still not perfect devotion. When you put this like a sponge, when you put a sponge into water, it absorbs the water into it, no doubt. But when you take it out and squeeze it or leave it, it becomes dry. It can't hold the water. Swami said, this is also not devotion, according to me. Then Arjuna said, Swami, then what is devotion? Krishna took a few crystals of sugar that he had in his hand and he gave it to Arjuna and said, now throw this sugar into the waters of Yamuna. And he did that. And he said, can you now find the sugar for me? Arjuna said, it's impossible, my lord. Not only that it is flowing with the river, but it would have completely dissolved into the water of Yamuna. Krishna then pointed to that and said, this is true devotion. Devotion is to dissolve in the divine. It is as simple as that. Devotion is to dissolve into the divine. Dissolve into the divine means what? Who has to dissolve into what? What is divine? Where is divine? Divine is all there is. The Upanishad says, Ekam eva advitiyam Brahma, which means they didn't stop by saying Ekam, one. They said Ekam eva, only one. Advitiyam, there is no second to it. And that divinity is Sarvam Vishnumayam Jagat. Means that divinity pervades the entire creation. So where is God? Divinity? Everywhere. Now if I were to ask you this question, where is God? Wouldn't your answer also be the same? What would you say? God is everywhere. Then how come this entity, I'm pointing to each one's body, how come this entity suddenly became exclusive of God? When we ourselves say God is everywhere, suddenly how did we become exclusive of God? Therefore, divine is all there is. He permeates every atom of our existence. And therefore, to dissolve in the divine is to completely acknowledge this truth. That's all. And when can you acknowledge this truth? Only when you know it in your direct experience. As we saw yesterday in the culminating story where Bhagavan said, you must take me as Sadguru. What is the role of Sadguru? Guru's role is to remove ignorance. Now those who remove ignorance from subject matters like finance, today, these days, they are addressed as finance gurus. Now, so many gadgets are coming into existence, so much technology. Not all of us are conversant with every technology, and therefore we go to those experts. They are called gadget gurus. We find them all over the internet. But if you want to know the reality of who we are, that is, that which is not separate from God at all, already, these external gurus are of no use. We need the guru who can remove ignorance from Sat. Sat means the unchanging truth that is ever present and omnipresent. And that Sat is Satya Sai. And therefore we must find refuge at the lotus feet of Sat Guru, that is Satya Sai. Now, dissolving means to simply dissolve the ignorance of our individual existence in the divine. And Hanuman was the greatest example. And how did he do that? Devotion was his strength to which he dissolved weaknesses, dissolved his entire identity into Rama. Hanuman left, we all know that. He became like that is a journey that we must all be keen to know, because that is our own. Every devotee's journey in divine. How do I dissolve in Bhagavan, who is omnipresent? The Genesis favorite Lord Hanuman, in Tulsidas ji, in Hanuman Chalisa actually writes this. that Rama says to Hanuman, Tumu mama priya bharatahi samabhai. You are a brother to me just like Bharata. You're very dear to me, a dear brother to me, just like Bharata. But this is not a casual statement of Rama. As we saw in the previous satsang, there is a rahasya, a secret to this. The payasam, the yajna prasadam of the Putra Kameshti Yaga, which was given to Mother Sumitra, was taken by the eagle, and the bird had delivered it on the lap of Mother Anjana Devi. And she had partaken as the prasadam of the Lord, and Hanuman was born from that. Bhagavan himself said this in a discourse. So Hanuman in that sense was actually a brother of Bhagavan Sri Rama himself. So this epitome of devotion is also a paragon of virtues, very dear to Swami. So dear that in Prashanti Nilayam in Puttaparthi, you see Bhagavan has kept Krishna, Shirdi Sai, Lord Shiva, Jesus, Zoroastra, all of them at one level, and he has placed Hanuman on top of them. He is so dear to Bhagavan. What makes him dear to Bhagavan are these virtues. And I was glad that in the introduction, sir mentioned these 3 virtues, but actually there are 4. The 4th one also is not a casual mention here. It is in fact the highest virtue of Hanuman. Shantudu, that is the one who was equanimous and of a peaceful disposition. Gunavantudu, the one who was full of virtues. Balavantudu, has immense strength and capabilities. And Hanumantudu, there is a secret that lies in his name itself, which we will explore as the course of this satsang proceeds. Let us see one by one what they mean, and especially for the youth, how these 4 qualities are extremely important if you want to be not just successful in life, but be purna. Purna means completely fulfilled. And that fulfillment comes in life only when we learn to dissolve in the divine. Why? Because the divine is already Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate, Purnasya Purnamadaya, Purnameva Vachishyate. He is already full. So simply by dissolving in the divine, you become Purna. And that is the real purpose of life. Kasturi ji writes in his book, Loving God, Kasturi ji, the biographer of Swami, he writes in his book, Loving God, the very first paragraph, he says, Bhagavan Baba says, you are born so that you are not born again. You must die such that you never die again. This is the secret which Hanuman reveals to us, how it should be achieved in your lifetime. This is not a teaching of Bhagavan that is to be experienced at the end of life. No. This is to be realized within this lifetime. That is the instruction of Bhagavan in Gita Vahini. So, let us see how these 4 virtues can be imbibed by us by completely absorbing our contemplation in Hanuman in the next few minutes. The first quality of Hanuman, Shantudu. You must know the background to this incident in Rāmāyana before we come to this quality of Hanuman. Vali, the brother of Sugriva, had waged a deadly war with this Asura by name Maya, and it so happened that as he was waging this extraordinary battle, you all know the prowess of Vali, and such a great warrior was not able to vanquish Mayasur so easily. So what he did is, he kept fighting. They entered a cave. And Sugriva, who was along with Vali, he was no match to Mayasur. So what he decided is to wait outside. Vali's instruction also was that. And Vali suddenly saw that this is going to get very violent, and suppose he is unable to overcome this extraordinary enemy that he is facing, Sugriva's life is also at peril. So he kind of indicated in some way, And what Sugriva did out of his own fear also, after a long time when Vali did not come out, Sugriva closed the cave with a big rock. And why did he do that? Because there was flow of blood. Flow of blood, he assumed that Vali was killed and therefore there is great danger to him and the entire kingdom of Kishkinda. What happened after that was Sugriva went back to his kingdom and he started ruling the kingdom. And after a while, Vali actually emerged from the cave victorious. And he was hoping to get a royal welcome in his kingdom. And what he saw there was the complete opposite. Sugriva was seated on the throne because obviously the praja, the subjects needed a king and they had anointed Sugriva. Sugriva was a hesitant king at that point. It was not his choice, but he had no choice but to ascend the throne. When Vali came there, he drove Sugriva out of that place and he was almost about to kill him out of the anger that was there in his heart, that his own brother did this to him. And Sugriva had no other option but to retire to a place called Rishyamukha Parvata, because a sage there had cursed Vali that if he would ever step in that region, his head would blow into pieces. And therefore, what Sugriva did was he found that to be a safe haven and he settled there. Hanuman, who was indebted to his guru Surya, was serving Surya's son there in the form of Sugriva. And all of that was happening there. Now, these two princes, Rama and Lakshmana, approach the Rishyamukha Parvata. As they come close to the Rishyamukha Parvata, Sugriva is able to sight these two extraordinary warrior-like sages. They were in the robes of sage, but they were warrior-like. They had bow and arrow with them. So he was confused. He thought, because Vali cannot approach that mountain, possibly he has taken the help of two extraordinary warriors and they have come to kill Sugriva. Sugriva, please remember from Swami's explanation of symbolism of Rāmāyana, Sugriva represents Viveka, our discriminatory strength, right? Discretion, our ability to have wisdom in functioning in life. That Sugriva was fear-stricken, and therefore, when he looked at Rama, he could not identify who he is. He said, "This must be my enemy," and he was completely perturbed. That is when Shantadu, see, this is the backdrop to this. That is when Shantadu, Hanuman, was full of equanimity, of a very, very calm, poignant, and silent disposition. He just looked at Sugriva and smiled and said, "Oh, Sugriva, don't come to conclusions as yet. Allow me to go and find out who they are. Let me take the brunt of the first attack if they are our enemies, and I will protect you, but allow me to go and see who they are." So Sugriva found some logic there because it is Hanuman who is saying that he will protect him. So he said, "Yes, you may go, Hanuman. Please find out. I am really worried." And when Hanumanji goes, he does not go in his form. He goes as a Brahmin, as a scholar. And he casually inquires from these two very handsome princes who were shining with such splendor. He asked them, "Who are you all? Where are you coming from?" And the way Hanuman conversed with Rama and Lakshmana, Swami describes, even Rama was wonderstruck. Who is this who has such mastery over grammar? Such beautiful words that he speaks to us. And Hanuman, in the course of the discussion, slowly asks questions in such a way that he finds out the identity of Rama and Lakshmana. And moment he gets to know that his Rama, his Atma Rama has come finally to see him. That was the first darshan that Hanuman had of Sri Rama. And when he saw him, when he got to know this is Rama, he immediately assumed his original form of the monkey god, and he fell at the lotus feet of Rama and said, "Rama, you have come. Lakshmana, you have come. And with tears in his eyes, he said, I welcome you to the kingdom of Kishkinda. Our master or the king of this place, Sugriva, is right here. I will take you to them. And that is how Hanuman took Rama and Lakshmana. Imagine if Hanuman was not there in the scene, the perturbed Sugriva could have done a great mistake, and neither would he have benefited from it, nor could Rama proceed in his mission. So there is a great rahasya in this event that we see, and that inner meaning, inner significance is important. Inner silence and equanimity helps us in bringing cohesion of the Jivatma and his Viveka. Now, what is this Jivatma? We hear this in so many discourses and all that. On the other end, we say all there is God, Brahman, Paramatma. Then what is this Jivatma? If you go back to the symbolism of Rāmāyana that Bhagavan describes, Swami says that Rama represents Antaryami, Atma Rama, no doubt. But Sita represents Brahma Jnana. So how does this Jiva or the Bhava of Jiva, the idea of Jiva comes into existence? If you look at this from the Vedantic point of view, what happens is, when the cosmic divinity, by its own will, chooses to become ignorant of its true self. How? By distancing the Brahma Jnana or Atma Jnana from itself, it assumes a Jiva Bhava. That is what we all are. We all are in an imagination of a Jiva Bhava, that's all. But this Jiva Bhava is why? Because the cosmic divinity, Paramatma, has distanced himself from Brahma Jnana. And therefore Jiva is born. And what happens in Rāmāyana? It's very symbolic. It's not that Rama was Jivatma. He was Paramatma only. But he played this drama of life without Rama is dead. You know, if from drama you remove Rama, what is left? Only D, which means it is dead. It is inert. It doesn't exist also. You see? So that was the drama played by Rama. What did he do? He wanted to show us this, that if you distance yourself from Atma Jnana or Brahma Jnana, you will behave like Jiva. In fact, in Rāmāyana there is evidence. Even when Rama was sent out for no mistake of his into the forest, on the day assigned to his coronation, he did not even shed a tear. He was not perturbed. He did not cry. He did not put a legal case. Nothing. Swami describes this so beautifully. The countenance with which Rama entered the room of Dasharatha and Kaikeyi, with the same countenance he walked out, even after knowing that he has to go to the forest. He was absolutely unperturbed. But you see in Rāmāyana, the moment Sita is kidnapped, suddenly Rama starts behaving like you and me. Oh Sita, where are you? He runs around in the forest. He asks the blade of grass. He asks the Vana Devatas around him. Every tree, every leaf, every animal he is asking, where is my Sita? Where is my Sita? What happened to Paramatma? So in the drama of Rama, you see, when Sita was separated from him, that is Brahma Jnana was separated from him, suddenly Rama started acting like he is a Jivatma. And therefore he has to now find the Brahma Jnana again. And that is the search that he goes on. And in that, there is a very important role for Hanuman and Sugriva as well. Sugriva is Viveka. Now, Viveka, in its original nature for Atma Jnana Purusha or a Jivan Mukta Purusha, the Viveka is nothing but the direct sunlight of the Atma Tattva flowing through their life. That is, the power of the Atma Tattva flows through every faculty of them, and including Viveka. Therefore, the decisions that they take in life is coming from the fundamental discrimination. You all learned about fundamental discrimination in the first satsang of this Rāmāyana Sapthāha. That fundamental discrimination means every decision is driven by only one bhava, that is Ekatma Bhava. Viveka becomes like that for a Atma Jnani. But then, for a Laukika Vyakti, that is a person involved in worldly life who is unaware of his or her true nature, Viveka is determined by outward experiences. Therefore, they are prone to fear. And that is what Sugriva was. He represents Viveka and he was so shaky. He didn't have any confidence in himself. You see? He only gained strength when Rama assured him that I am with you. And therefore, Viveka must gain strength through Atma Tattva. That is by company with God or Satsanga. Sat here means God himself. You see? And therefore, this friendship between Viveka and the Atma Tattva is facilitated by Shanta Swabhava. And in fact, Bhagavan goes on to say that the yardstick of measurement of bhakti, the yardstick, that is how do I know how much bhakti do I have? The yardstick of measurement of bhakti is the Shanti of the Bhakta. How equanimous can you be in the face of the greatest challenges that you are facing in your personal, professional and spiritual life, whatever it may be. How cool and calm you can be, how equanimous you can be, how much acceptance you have for whatever is happening is the yardstick of measurement of bhakti as declared by Bhagavan. And that Shanta Swarupa was Hanuman. And let us invoke his blessings on all of us so that we also imbibe that equanimity. We also imbibe that Shanta Swabhavam. Now when such a person, Swami, in a discourse in 1977, in fact 1st of February 1977, right here in Brindavan, beautifully described this. For such a Shantadu like Hanuman, Bhagavan gave him the chance to become his Duta, his messenger. And in that context, Swami said there are 3 types of messengers. What are they? First type, those who do not understand the order of the master. Even if Bhagavan was to verbally tell you what to do, I do not understand. In fact, this happened in Kodaikanal once. Swami blessed me with the chance to be his instrument to give a speech like this. And I confessed to Swami openly. I said, Swami, to Lakshmana you simply pointed out like this, and he understood that this is Naka, sky, which means nose, and Shruti means ear, and he immediately cut off all of that. You see? But Swami, Lakshmana had Ati Sukshma Buddhi, and we are such Manda Buddhis that if you tell us directly to our face what to do, still we don't understand what to do. And Swami had a hearty laugh. You know, that is the first type. Those who do not understand the order of the master and do not care to understand. And therefore, when they operate, they are actually derogatory to the mission of the Lord. You see, detrimental to the mission of the Lord. The second type of messenger, Duta, are those who do only just as much as the order is literally communicated. That is, whatever Bhagavan says or the master says, how much the master has said, only that much they will do. Not one letter more than that. Right? That is the second type of Duta. Then Bhagavan says there is a third type of messenger. Those who grasp the purpose and the significance of the order and carry them out unflinchingly till that purpose is achieved. Till what? Not just verbatim instructions, but the purpose is achieved. And they have that acumen, the capability to understand God's wish and ensure that that is achieved, and that was Hanuman. Swami says Hanuman was the third type of Duta. So then the question comes, does God choose somebody who has that kind of capacity like Hanuman? Are we all, obviously we are no match to Hanuman. So will God ever choose me? This question may come. There is a beautiful experience of one of my teachers from Swami's university, from his student days with Swami. Every evening, a very good habit that students have is, before going to sleep, they would have satsang. That is, they would listen to stories of Swami. They would have some parayanam, or they would discuss some teachings of Swami amongst each other before going to bed, so that they will remember Swami's teachings and go to bed every night. One such day, this teacher of mine, who was a student then, Dr. Sainath, he and his group of classmates were discussing this question: does God choose the capable, or does he give capacity to the chosen? What is the reality here? And they were not able to come to a conclusion because both sides' arguments seemed to be valid. Next day, when they all went to Mandir for Swami's darshan, Swami called Dr. Sainath and he had a bag in his hand with a sari, a beautiful sari. And Swami called Dr. Sainath and said, Chudu, itisko, you take this. Collector had come. Collector of Anantapur district had come with his wife. I had blessed them with clothes. Now there was also a guest along with them, which Swami had not given the guest as yet. So Swami had given a word. See, Rama, the man of one word. The word that is given cannot be taken back. Swami said, I gave a word to the collector's wife that I will send a sari to her relative, another guest, woman who was there. So Swami said, you take this, you give it to them. Swami did not give any other instructions, where they are, what they are doing, nothing. He just said, take this and give it to them. So, and Swami retired into his room, and this brother had to now go. Now he is wondering where to go, where to find them. So then a thought occurs to him that I must go to the accommodation office and first check where they are staying. They are not in the mandir, so therefore they must be somewhere in the ashram. So he goes to the accommodation office and asks, where is the IAS officer and his family staying? So they give him the room, and they also say that they haven't received the key of the room, right, as yet. Very big administrative issue we have. Guests will leave sometimes along with the key in the ashram. So, this is a persistent problem. But the key was just not returned as yet, right? So the accommodation office said that, they are staying in round block, such and such room, but we haven't received the key, which means they might still be here. You can't say sure, but they might be here. So he then thought, if they are not in the room which is pointed, he went to the round block and he saw the room was locked and the key is not returned yet. So where can then be? A thought comes to him that I should go and check the canteen, because those days after darshan they would go for breakfast. So I should go and check canteen. So this brother went to the canteen and asked them, inquired if the IAS officers had their breakfast. They said that usually the breakfast is sent to them, and it has been sent to Jogarao Garu's room. Colonel Jogarao was in charge of the facility there, Prashantinilayam Ashram there. So usually the guests who come, they would always go and meet him as well and pay their respects to him. So they said the breakfast has gone to him. So this brother rushed to that room where Jogarao Garu was there, and thankfully he was sweating because it is already quite some time since Swami had given him that instruction, and he was worried that if the guests leave Prashantinilayam, Swami's instruction cannot be fulfilled. So when he went into Jogarao sir's room, he saw that they were having breakfast there. So he went and gave it to the guests, and the wife of the collector, the IAS officer, was so happy because she thought, okay, Swami might have said, but where will Swami remember, such small things? But here was Swami. He gave his word, so he sent it. And when the sari was delivered, the prasadam was delivered to this devotee, they were elated, and with tears of joy, they proceeded from Prashantinilayam. This boy, having accomplished his task, the divinely assigned task successfully, comes back to Mandir. And as he came back to Mandir, he sees Swami outside the interview room, and all the boys are laughing. So as soon as Swami saw this boy coming, Swami retired into his interview room again. He went inside and locked the door. So this brother came and sat right in the front outside interview room, so that the first chance he gets to see Swami, he can report that he has delivered Swami's prasadam. So Swami, he was waiting for Swami. So one of the brothers next to him, he was still giggling. So he asked, what happened? Why are you all laughing? He said, that boy said, you went to accommodation office? He said, yes. You went to round block after that? He said, yes. You went to canteen after that? He said, yes. How do you know all this? Swami was giving live commentary here. He was telling, this fellow, he went to accommodation office. After that, he's roaming in round blocks, the Swami, he gave his Rama's drama. He gave his own twist. He's roaming around in the round blocks cluelessly. Then he ran to the canteen. He's eating breakfast there, Swami said. Just in a jovial way. He's eating breakfast there, and this brother protested, no, I didn't go to the canteen to eat breakfast. He said, hey, Swami told this, that you went there and you were eating breakfast. And finally you went to Jogarav Garu's room and delivered the prasadam. That Swami was giving live commentary of what you are doing here. As soon as this brother got to know this, Swami's door opened and Swami came out. And he went up to Swami and he said, Swami, and rattled out the whole sequence of all that happened to Swami and said, Swami, it's delivered now finally. Then Swami said, Chudura, nenu neeku pani iste, daniki taginettu shakti kuda nene istanu. He said, when I give you a task, a work to do, I also give you the capabilities, the strength to accomplish the task. And that was the answer. So does God choose the capable for his work? He empowers the chosen. God empowers the chosen. And in fact, in that very discourse that we just referred to, Swami tells this, like when he chose Hanuman, he gave him the strength. In fact, every time Rama would give an instruction to Hanuman, Hanuman would experience a surge of unbelievable strength in him. He himself would not know that kind of strength. Unbelievable strength would surge through his veins whenever Rama Agnya was there, whenever Rama would tell, do this task for me. You see? So God empowers the chosen. And not just that, Swami then leads us on to the next quality of Hanuman in continuation with this point. Swami says, just like an electric wire, you have a copper wire, but we don't have copper wires open like that, do we? It has a plastic casing on top of that, isn't it? To protect it and to protect us mostly, right? So Swami gives the analogy of the wire and says, just like the copper wire that carries that energy, the phenomenal energy of the electricity that is carried by the copper wire is kept safe only by an equally strong plastic covering on top. In the same way, when God gives you the task, he gives you the energy. The phenomenal energy that is there in us has to be cased by a strong body, he said. That is the second quality of Hanuman. And Rama, by his mere darshan, he would empower Hanuman's body. Swami describes this. Hanuman would see Rama and his entire body, every atom of his body would become like a sun, a great generator of energy. And that was the glory of darshan of Rama. And Swami described this and said that because of the constant namasmarana that Hanuman did, Ram, 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 the constant namasmarana that Hanuman did, he retained that energy. That energy flowed in every vein of his body. You see? And that is what made him Balavantudu. Of course, Balavantudu doesn't mean just physical strength, but also mental strength, intellectual strength. He was Hanuman, as he is described again in Hanuman Chalisa, Ashta Siddhi Navanidike Datha. He is a master. Swami says he is a master of all the 4 Vedas and 6 Shastras. He is the most capable being. That Balavantudu, for youngsters especially, Swami points out in this discourse that Balavantudu means you must make yourself capable so that you are a worthy instrument in God's hand. You see? And when Hanuman had to revive Lakshmana, help revive Lakshmana, he was described, a description of Sanjeevani booty was given to him. And what did Hanuman do? When he went there, he uses, there's no time. Time is running out for Lakshmana. By sunrise, he'll be gone. So Hanuman saw that, and his yukti told him that if I take one and go now, and if that turns out to be the wrong one, because he has never seen Sanjeevani before that, and it seems when he went to that Dhunagiri Parvat, which is even now, they say, the people of that region in Himalayas, it is in Kumaun Himalayas, people of that region, they don't worship Hanuman. They say they are upset with him because one mountain with all the sacred herbs he took away. They say that they don't have Hanuman temples there. But what Hanuman did is when he went there, he saw all the herbs in the Himalayas were glowing just like Sanjeevani. So he didn't want to make a mistake there. If he flies all the way to Lanka, he may not have time to do it twice. So therefore, what he did? Balavantudu. He lifted the entire Sanjeevani Parvat and went to revive Lakshmana. See, what capacities, what acumen of intellect and intelligence to ensure that Loka Kalyana happens. Why he did all that? Rama Karya happens. What is Rama Karya meant for? Only Loka Kalyana. Rama did not do an iota of act for himself ever in his life. Just like how Swami is. Swami would say, from top to toe, I am selfless, selfless, selfless. It is the same Rama. Right? So let us now soak in these two extraordinary qualities of Hanuman, the Sri Rama Dhuta and Sri Rama Bhakta.
He Rama Dhuta, He Rama Bhakta, He Rama Dasa, Namo Namo. He Rama Dhuta, He Rama Bhakta, He Rama Dasa, Namo Namo. He Rama Dhuta, He Rama Bhakta, He Rama Dasa, Namo Namo. He Rama Dhuta, He Rama Bhakta, He Rama Dasa, Namo Namo. Sita Mata Shoka Vinasha, Sita Mata Shoka Vinasha, Sita Mata Shoka Vinasha, Sita Mata Shoka Vinasha, Anatha Natha Namo Namo, Anatha Natha Namo Namo, Anatha Natha Namo Namo, Anatha Natha Namo Namo. Maruti Raya Mahanubhava, Maruti Raya Mahanubhava, Maruti Raya Mahanubhava, Maruti Raya Mahanubhava. Ati Balavanta Namo Namo, Ati Balavanta Namo Namo, Anjaneya Namo Namo, Anjaneya Namo Namo. He Rama Dhuta, He Rama Bhakta, He Rama Dasa, Namo Namo. He Rama Dhuta, He Rama Bhakta, He Rama Dasa, Namo Namo. Sita Mata Shoka Vinasha, Sita Mata Shoka Vinasha, Anatha Natha Namo Namo, Anatha Natha Namo Namo. Maruti Raya Mahanubhava, Maruti Raya Mahanubhava. Ati Balavanta Namo Namo, Ati Balavanta Namo Namo, Anjaneya Namo Namo, Anjaneya Namo Namo. He Rama Dhuta, He Rama Bhakta, He Rama Dasa, Namo Namo.
He Ramadasa, Namo Namo. There cannot be a greater servant to Rama than Hanuman. Usually when somebody is suffused with extraordinary strength, Balavantudu, they become easily victims to arrogance, isn't it? That's very natural. But Hanuman was not like that. That is what brings us to his extraordinary nature, how he overcame this with Ramakarya as the center of his life. We will see this. Hanuman was given this task by Rama. Swami says, whenever Rama would give a task to Hanuman, Hanuman never questioned whether he is capable of doing it or not. He had firm faith that if Rama has asked him to do, it will be done. Not by him, it will be done. If he has given it to him, then it will happen through him. So, we all know what happened. The monkey army, along with Jambavan, Angada, Nala, Neela and Hanuman had gone south. And on the shores of the ocean, they were wondering how are they going to make this journey across. Jambavan says, I am too old to make this leap now. Maybe in my younger days, I could have achieved this. Angada says, maybe I can make a one-side leap. I can jump with all my strength to Lanka, but I'm not sure if I'll have enough strength to come back. They said, you are the crown prince of Kishkinda, and if you go and not come back, and that too if you're captured by Ravana, it's a great disaster. So that is not viable. Nala, Neela, of course, were calculating how much length actually they can jump, and it was nowhere near the required length to reach Lanka. They would fall into the ocean. So they said, no, not possible. And there was Hanuman sitting there, not in doubt. He was sitting there wondering, Rama has said this is going to happen, but how is this going to happen? Because it's still unclear to him. Jambavan then goes and reminds him. Of course, there is a story that Hanuman played prank with rishis in his childhood, and therefore he was cursed that he would have forgetfulness of his strength and so on. In fact, there is an important message here for youngsters. Swami in Sandeh Nivarani actually gives 45 points where he says, this is the very essence of my teachings. One of the points he says is, you must never hurt others through your prankish behavior. He says this, you must not do pranks on others. Of course, for fun it is okay, but don't have fun at the cost of others. If you can do something to yourself and make others happy, it's okay, it's a different thing. But if you make fun, see, all are looking at each other here, students. That is why this point had to be emphasized, though it's a small point, right? So, Bhagavan, Hanuman did this prank, and he was therefore cursed that his strength would not be known to him until a time came where he was reminded, and Jambavan diligently did that, and Hanuman got his strength, and by knowing that it is Rama who is powering him, he became huge in size, and from Mahendragiri he took a leap towards Lanka. This journey that he had across the ocean is described actually as a journey of a seeker, a sadhaka, like you and me. What Hanuman did is he was doing Ramakarya. Like all of you are engaged in Swami's work in some way or the other. So Hanuman also was engaged in Ramakarya. But Hanuman showed the third type of messenger that he is, the Sri Rama Duta that he is. He was unperturbed and undisturbed in this focus that he must accomplish this task. But then he encountered three types of obstacles. The first obstacle he encountered was a mountain that came out of the ocean. Can you imagine that? A mountain rose up from the ocean, and that was none other than Mainaka. Mainaka was a close friend of Hanuman's father Vayudeva. It seems those days the mountains had ability to fly. They had wings. And imagine the havoc that would cause. And imagine now if mountains are flying around here. So Indra felt this is a nuisance and he must do something. So with his Vajrayuda, he started cutting down the wings of all the mountains, it is said. So Mainaka, who was worried about this, he was trying to escape Indra, and Indra is said to have Airavat, which goes at lightning speed. And Mainaka took refuge in wind god. Now Indra is the lord of all the devatas, no doubt, but a quality of a devata is, if you take refuge in them, they cannot refuse. And therefore, Vayudeva, because Mainaka took refuge in him, though he is going against his master, he went at such a speed with Mainaka that even Airavat could not catch up with him, and he went and dropped him in the ocean near Lanka. And therefore, Mainaka was indebted to Vayudeva. And when he saw Hanuman flying and go, and he saw that he is Vayuputra Hanuman, he felt that he has to honor him. So he came up and called out to him, please come, I want to serve you. Hanuman was perturbed because he did not want to get disturbed in his goal. So he saw what is happening and he said, see, I am on Ramakarya. I don't have time to rest. Mainaka said, I have wonderful fruits on me. You please take those fruits. Take some rest. I know you're on Ramakarya. Take some rest and go, he said. Hanuman said, I have no time to rest. If I rest, I rust. I have to finish Rama's work and therefore I will have to go ahead. But however, to honor you, please allow me. I will just touch you and go, he said. And he just touches Mainaka and goes. This Mainaka represents Satwik obstacle. It's obstacle, no doubt, but it is Satwik. Like you have this Rāmāyana Sapthāha. You want, this is Ramakarya. Swami has given this task. And suppose you are organizing this or you're participating in this Ramakarya. And somebody, very good-natured person, comes and calls you for an important function in their house. Anything wrong? Nothing wrong. They want to express gratitude to you for all that you have done for them. And they say, please come, I am having such and such puja. Please come home. Now here is Ramakarya on one side. Another is a Satwik person making a Satwik proposal to you. But it is still a hindrance. You see, it's an obstacle. How you must deal with it? Hanuman showed. You must deal with it with a Satwik obstacle with great love. You must gently put it to them in kind words, loving words, that this is my situation and therefore I have to finish this task first, but I will definitely come and honor your request. You see? So Satwik obstacles will come in a sadhaka's life. You must deal with it with love and intelligence. But love must be the foundation of such dealing. The second obstacle that Hanuman faced was the great serpent goddess called Surasa. And Surasa, the Nagamata, had this extraordinary boon from Brahma that whoever passes by should become her food. So she comes up and says, Hanuman, you are my food now. Hanuman tells the same thing to her. He says, Amma, I have Ramakarya. I'll finish Ramakarya, report back to Rama, and then I will give you all the food you need. If you want me also, you can take. But I have to finish Ramakarya first. And then she says, nothing doing. She is Rajoguna. The quality of Rajoguna is half jnana, half ajnana. So you don't know which way they are going to swing. You see, that's why first Hanuman negotiated, but when he saw that she is unbudging towards the tamoguna of destruction, then he had to do something else. What he did, he grew his size so much, it is said sometimes, some descriptions are there, that he grew to the size of 100 yojanas, which was actually the distance from the point he jumped straight to Lanka is 100 yojanas. And it is said that Hanuman became that big, 100 yojanas tall, and Surasa kept opening her mouth to consume somebody who is 100 yojanas tall. And you know what Hanuman did? In a moment, he shrunk himself in size, went inside, came out and said, Amma, as you asked, I went into your mouth and came out. Now can I go? So this Rajasic obstacle is like that. You must use yukti and you must ensure that you yourself are not using Rajasic tendencies. That is, you must subdue your ego. Hanuman's growing up into 100 yojana size is his yukti. The yukti came out of Rama's grace because he was completely tuned to Atma Rama. In that instant, he knew what to do. That yukti came from Rama's grace. And he grew himself that tall. That was yukti. But when he shrunk himself this small, that was his humility. He shrunk his ego is Rajoguna. See, he shrunk himself so small that he could, with humility, accomplish this task. And you know the result of that? That impending enemy in front of him, who was standing as his death, Surasa, blessed him and said, going ahead, no obstacle can stop you. I bless you that you will be successful in this Ramakarya. Imagine that. He converted an adversity into a great blessing. And that is how a sadhaka must be when they face Rajasic obstacles. And the third challenge that Hanuman faced was completely Tamasic obstacle, Simhika, also known as Chayagrahi. Her power was, again by the grace of Brahmaji, Brahmaji alone knows how he blessed all of them, but by the grace of Brahmaji, her power was that any bird or any object that is flying, if the shadow falls on the ocean, she can pull that object to her and make it food. Again, destruction. There, no kind words, no negotiation, no yukti. Thomasic obstacle, Hanuman went and gave one blow and finished her off. He was very clear what is to be done here. And that is how we must do with our own tamasic obstacles. That is not outside people, it means within ourselves. When Tamoguna in the form of laziness, in the form of ignorance, in the form of lethargy, inability to be consistent with our sadhana, all these are Tamoguna. Hurtful thoughts about others, thoughts to harm others, this is all Tamoguna. When it comes, you must be very strict with yourself and remove them. You must eliminate them, there's no other way. That is what Hanuman showed as a sadhaka. And final obstacle that he had was Lankini. Lankini is pure ahankara. Ahankara means identification with body. What was her body? Lanka. Her name itself is Lankini. You see, she was the very body or identification with the body of Lanka. And what Hanuman did, the one who was completely in tune with Atma Rama. Swami describes that Lankini first attacks Hanuman, and all Hanuman did is, he just swung his left hand, not even his right hand. He just swung his left hand. It seems the tip of his knuckle touched her. She went flying and fell. And when she fell, she realized that this is actually an ancient prophecy that when a monkey comes and enters Lanka, that is the beginning of the downfall of Ravana. And she says, it is time for me to go. My work is done here. So when Rama Karya is being done and there is complete surrender to Atma Rama, even Ahankara gives way. There is no place for Ahankara. And he reaches Lanka and finds Mother Sita. This is a lesson for every sadhaka to learn from. That leads us to the next quality. You see, this Balavantudu Hanuman, but he was also Gunavantudu. And this Bhagavan says is a very important quality, especially for youngsters, for youth. Hanuman was instructed by Rama to find Mother Sita. Obviously, Rama had to give him description of Mother Sita. So he described how Mother Sita looks to her. Now Hanuman is searching for Mother Sita in the palace of Ravana. Now there are so many women there, so he has to go and actually examine each one and see if they fit the description of Mother Sita or not. He even looked at Mandodari, who was glowing with such tejas because she was also a Pativrata. And looking at her tejas, for a moment he wondered, could this be Mother Sita? Then he corrected himself. No, why will she be in the palace sleeping so soundly in the absence of Rama? His Viveka came to his help. But Swami says one very important thing happened there. When Hanuman was looking at all these various Rakshasis who were there and examining them, he felt a deep sense of disgust. He went to the edge of the ocean and he wanted to jump and end his life that very moment. He felt, what is this I am doing? I am looking at so many women just like that. Then again Atma Rama inspired him from within and said, this is Rama Agnya. That is why you are allowed to do this. This is Rama Agnya. And then secondly, whom are you searching for? Sita. And who is she? Your mother. And therefore, when you look at all these women, you are searching for Sita, means you are searching for your mother. So with that bhava, you must look at the women. And Swami narrates this in this way. And then says, Mana students kuda atle chudali. Evarni chusina, they must think that this is my mother, this is my sister. With that kind of a feeling, they must see the attitude behind the vision is very important. Gunavantudu Hanuman. The next expression of his extraordinary virtue was in the court of Ravana. You all know the might that Hanuman is, but you know what happened there? He actually bowed down to Lord Brahma. That is, when Indrajit shot the Brahmastra at Hanuman, the Astra actually has no effect on him. Astra could not have done anything to Hanuman. But when he saw that it is Brahmastra, and Indrajit had taken such a big risk of using Brahmastra on him, he decided that I must pay respect to Brahma. And therefore he said, okay, now you can't do anything to me, but I'll get bound at least by it. Right? And he acted as if he got bound, and you can see how when he went inside the court of Ravana, he simply shattered all the shackles that bound him to show that, he bound himself actually. The Astra did not bind him. And finally, when Ravana comes face to face with Hanuman and asks him this question, who are you? Ravana is a great devotee of whom? Lord Shankara, Shiva. Hanuman could have very well said, I am the Amsha avatar of the Lord whom you worship, and I have such valor and power that I can crush you into pieces if I want to. That could have been his introduction to Ravana. But what does he say? He says, Dasoham Kausalendrasya. I am a humble servant of the son of Kausalya. Look at his humility. There is nobody who has served Rama, served Bhagavan like Hanuman. In spite of this extraordinary service that he rendered, he called himself just as a dasa. He said, Dasoham Kausalendrasya. That is the virtue. Swami says, seva must be done like this. When you do seva, you must always consider yourself as the servant of God, and you're just doing God's bidding. Whatever Swami wants is being accomplished. Swami once said, he asked the student, do you know why I make you all distribute prasadam in mandir? They said, no, Swami, because when you distribute Swami's prasadam, the prasadam is not yours, neither you know the people whom you are serving. Therefore, this feeling that I am doing or I am giving will not come to you. The only feeling that you have is Swami's prasadam is being given. You are just an instrument in that process. That feeling comes naturally to you. And when you do seva with this bhava, with dasa bhava, then I come to your rescue when you have emergency. In fact, Swami said there is no emergency for such a devotee of mine. You see? Because he is there to rescue. This punya phala that you earn through prasadam, serving the prasadam to the devotees, will protect you whenever there is a danger, Bhagavan said. So, Gunavantadu Dasoham Kausalendrasya. This is an extraordinary quality of Hanuman. Imagine having accomplished such a task. There were no aeroplanes per se, no helicopters to go to Lanka. There was such a struggle, and in spite of that, Hanuman, overcoming all these obstacles, went to Lanka, found Mother Sita, was successful, and he came back. In fact, if you see, when he came back, there were no obstacles. It seems when the father sends the son to do a task, he will deliberately put some obstacles so he learns properly. But when the mother sends the child, only love, no obstacles on the way. So Hanuman comes back. But you know what happens? And Kamba, the great author of Rāmāyana in the language of Tamil, captures this very beautifully, the essence of Hanuman's quality. When Hanuman is returning to Lanka, he does not, in his over expression of joy, declare all his great achievements to everybody. You know what he does? He goes straight to Rama, and the first words he utters is Kanden Sitaye. Sita has been found. I have seen Sita. Why? Because Rama's heart is throbbing with pain because he was not able to find Mother Sita, and he wanted first to cool that heart of Rama. Therefore, he did not talk about his journey, he did not talk about the difficulties, his achievements, nothing. The first words uttered by Hanuman was, Kanden Sitaye, I have seen Sita, so that Rama's heart cools down. Look at the depth of devotion of this devotee. What kind of a devotee he is to utter these words with this careful consideration that my Lord is suffering from his separation from Mother Sita. I must first cure that. I must first help him with that. And he says this. This is the Gunavantadu, that is Hanuman. And you know what Rama does? As soon as Hanuman comes, Rama says, Hanuman, there is nothing in this entire creation that is worthy of being offered to you for your devotion. Can you imagine this? Rama telling, there is nothing in the entire creation that is worthy of offering to you. My dear Hanuman, therefore I am left with nothing but to give myself to you, he says, and he embraces Hanuman, just as you see that. Rama gave himself to Hanuman in return for the devotion and service that Hanuman rendered selflessly to him. That is the example of Gunavantadu that Swami hopes and expects each one of us cultivate in our hearts and life. Finally, we come to the fourth secret aspect which is hidden in his name, Hanuman. Rama, in fact, asks Hanuman this question. Hanuman, who are you to me? How are we related? Who are you to me? Rangarajan sir had actually mentioned this on day 1 of the talk. He says, when I am working or functioning as this body, Rama, I am your mere servant. Dasoham, I am your mere servant. When I think that I am an individual being, Jiva Bhava, I am a spark of the very same divinity that you are. But in reality, you and I are one. In reality, Atma Bhava, that is, when he is in identification with his own true self, he says, you and I are one. That is epitomized in the very name of Hanuman. Hanuman, if you look at the English spelling, H-A-N-U-M-A-N. H, capital H, means his, Rama. His here with capital H means Swami, Bhagavan, Rama. A-N-U means Anu. Anu means atom. Man, M-A-N. Man is nothing but a spark of the divine, Anumatram, an atomic form of the divinity. That is what Hanuman communicated through his life. He said, Swami, I am just an atom of the divine being that you are, the cosmic being that you are. The devotion of Hanuman is unparalleled. This is a story which I don't know how to describe. The love that Hanuman has for Rama. If we are able to cultivate even 1% of that love for Swami, our life is sanctified. This happened after the coronation of Rama. There are 2 instances, there are many, but in the given time, I will refer to one incident just to show how innocent he was in his devotion to the Lord. It so happened, Bhagavan describes this, that all of them, Rama, Bharata, Lakshmana, Shatrughna, Mother Sita, Hanumanji, they were all in a satsang, a congregation, and after the meeting, they were all dispersing back to their respective residences. And it is said that into Rama's bedroom, Mother Sita enters to make arrangements for the night, just to keep water, everything ready. So she goes, and Hanuman very casually, coolly walks into the bedroom. So Mother Sita looks at this and says, Hanuman, wait, you are not allowed inside this place. Hanuman says, why, Mother? Why am I not allowed? My Rama's room, right? How can I not be allowed? The prelude to this is, you all know this, when the 3 brothers, Lakshmana, Shatrughna and Bharata, were making a list of sevas that they wanted to do for Rama. They decided deliberately, this Hanuman has served Rama enough. In fact, every time he is there with Rama, we must do something. See, this is also Rama's drama only. Please remember, the 3 brothers are not like this. This is also Rama's drama. So the 3 brothers conspire and say, we must do something and ensure that this Hanuman doesn't get anything to do with serving Rama, at least here in the palace. So it seems they approach Mother Sita and tell, Mata, we must do something. We feel that he has served enough. Let us all get a chance to serve. Especially Bharata, Shatrughna, no, they didn't get that chance. So let them serve. So Mother Sita said, see, you ask your brother. You ask Rama only about. So they made a list, an exhaustive list, and went to Rama and showed, this is the list, O Rama. We feel Hanuman deserves rest. So Rama goes through that list and he smiles within himself and says, oh, is it? You show it to Hanuman. So when Hanuman comes, they show the list to him and he goes through the list very carefully and he's seeing what is assigned to Lakshmana, what is assigned to Bharata, what is assigned to Shatrughna, and he's very happy for them. He's overjoyed that they are getting these chances to serve Rama and he's so happy. See, Hanuman is like that. It seems after the war, Rama took the podium, that is, he took the stage to tell all the warriors assembled who served him the best in the entire journey to find Sita and vanquish Ravana. So all were inherently thinking it will be Hanuman that Swami will name. But you know what Rama says? It was Lakshmana who served me like that, diligently. So if you and I were Hanuman, at least if I was Hanuman, I would think, what? Lakshmana? This person would not have been alive if I didn't go overnight and fetch the Sanjeevani Parvat. Who can do that? And it is only because of that act that he is alive now. And Lakshmana is the one who is serving, who served Rama the best. Could be a thought of an ordinary mortal. But you know what Hanuman thought in that moment? He thought, oh, Rama is reminding me, my Swami is reminding me that I have spent 24 hours, 365 days in taking care of Rama. 24/7 I was taking care of Rama. I forgot that Lakshmana also without sleep and food is serving Rama. He also must be tired. So Rama is indicating to me that I must portion some time in my day to serve Lakshmana also. This is the bhava of Hanuman. So with this bhava, he is reading that list, saying, oh, Lakshmana, wonderful opportunity. Oh, Bharata, wonderful opportunity. He goes almost to the end of the list and his name is not there. So he goes humbly and asks, Swami, my name is not featured here. And the three brothers tell him, Sab ho gaya, Hanuman. We made an exhaustive list. This is all we can manage on our own. There doesn't seem to be anything left. So Rama looks at the heart of Hanuman. He is in pain that he is not able to serve Rama. So Rama immediately says, Hanuman, if you find something which is not in this list, you can take up. And the other three brothers agree. Yes. Oh, Hanuman, if you find something that is not in the list, yes, we will allot it to you. Because they were very sure that all the tasks were allotted in that list. So Hanuman again does the same thing. He contemplates on Atma Rama. And the inspiration comes as always to him. And he goes and tells Rama, there is one service. When great beings, the emperors and great beings like you, when you yawn, it is said that we must snap the finger in front of the mouth like this. Now, it is not correct. If you yourself snap the finger, it doesn't befit your stature. So a servant must do this for you as soon as you yawn. So that small seva, you give it to me. Whenever you yawn, I will snap my finger. Bharata, Lakshmana, Shatrughna looked at each other and said, this is not a big deal, assign it to him, no problem. They assigned it to him. After that they are seeing, every moment Hanuman is with Rama. Arey, this is what we wanted to avoid and this is exactly what is happening, counterproductive. So then they said, Hanuman, what is this? You can't be like this everywhere with Rama. So he said, see, the task assigned to me is whenever Rama yawns, I have to snap. There cannot be a moment's delay. Right? Now, can you tell me when Rama will yawn? He asked. And therefore, I have to be with Rama. Poor thing, no? I have to be with Rama wherever he is so that whenever he yawns, I must be there to do this seva. This is that Hanuman. He doesn't want to leave Rama's side. You see? We must be like him. It should not ever in thought, word and deed want to leave Swami. Right? So, he enters Sita's bedroom chamber. And Mother Sita says, no, Hanuman, there are some rules here. You can't enter this room. He says, why, Mother? What is wrong? This is Rama's room, right? This is your room. You are my mother. Why can't I enter this room? She says, see, because of this. She wanted to symbolically put it and finish it off. She said, because of this, she showed the sindoor on her forehead, saying that I am the wedded wife of Rama. This is our bedroom. You are not allowed inside. Simple. Hanuman being Hanuman. He said, that's all. He said, one moment please. And he went into the market. Swami actually in a discourse says, he went into the market and found all the red sindoor paint that is available. And he applied it all over his body from top to toe, and in an instant, he is Vayuputra. You know how fast he travels. In an instant, he appeared in front of Mother Sita and said, now will you allow me to enter? For that small dot of vermilion, that sindoor on your forehead, that small dot, if you have the right to be with Rama all the time, now look at me. And that is why even today you see in temples, Hanuman is in sindoor color. To acknowledge that great devotion of that extraordinary devotee that Hanuman was. What a devotion. With prayers to Swami that he blesses each one of us with the qualities of Hanuman, Shantudu, Gunavantudu, Balavantudu, Hanumantudu. Let us put only a Alpa Viram, though this is, for this Rāmāyana Sapthāham, this is the last session. But for Sapthāham and Satsang, there can never be a full stop. So let us put a Alpa Viram, that is a comma, right? And in the form of this comma, let us culminate this Satsang with the Sri Rama Nama. We will chant Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram 3 times. I will start and you please follow after that. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की
जय।